Hi everybody, welcome to part 3 of my TBR tour. Okay. Today we are doing pink, purple, brown, beige, white, gray, and black. Hopefully this won't be like 400 million minutes long. If it is, sorry. Alright, so let's get started. I'm gonna do the same thing I've been doing for the last 2 videos, only this one happened to be on a different day. So it might be a little different looking or sounding or whatever. Also, my husband, okay, I guess I don't need to say all that. Okay, if you hear any sounds in the background, my husband is finishing the floor upstairs where my new office will go. That means my desk and all of these black bookshelves are gonna go upstairs. And then this behind me will turn into white bookshelves, floor to ceiling. It's gonna be amazing. I'm really excited about it because floor to ceiling bookshelves, hello. How could you not be excited about that? It's like a dream come true. I'm gonna basically have a tiny version of Belle's library in here. I'll make sure to take lots of videos. I'll probably actually do, if you'd be interested in it, a time lapse of me putting all my books up once they get into once like the bookshelves are built. So that might be fun. I'll put music to it, hopefully music that you don't hate. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing is the necklace. I got this in a glom box. It probably isn't the normal thing that I would read, but it was free and someday I'll get to it, I'm sure. It is coming out in July. In other words, I'm definitely not gonna get to it before it comes out. Whoops. I got this at BookCon, and I think this is actually like, it's based on the screenplay, so I don't know how similar it is, but it sounds pretty fun. I mean, I really liked the movie, so. Okay, I got this one in a book box. I'm not exactly sure which one. Part of me thinks it was uppercase, the other part of me thinks it was Alcrate, but I don't actually know. Ooh, I got this one in the Nocturnal Readers box, and it's really cool looking, which actually kind of surprised me that it was like hot pink because it was in the Nocturnal Readers box, which is kind of more, it's definitely the more masculine of the boxes that I have and the darker of the boxes that I have. I mean, that's the whole point of it, really. So I was really surprised to see this. It's probably gonna be awesome. It looks like it'll be really cool. Next is Choker, and I have had this forever, and I don't even remember what it's about. But it feels like it has the same kind of cover as the Shiver covers, but it's obviously not the same author. So yeah, I have literally no idea what this one is about. I must have gotten this like years and years ago. Let's see when it came out. I bet it's a first edition. Yep. Copyright 2011. So that was a while ago. One day I'll get to it. Ooh, I got this one on sale and I just really liked the title. And then I've seen that there's actually more of these, and so I'm kind of interested to see how these are. So I do see these sometimes on Bookstagram, but not a ton. So I'm interested. I really like the cover though. I mean, you can't even see the words. They kind of disappear. There you go. See? But they're not there. You just see that and then, oh, words. It says burn for burn if you can't read the shiny print. It's actually easy to see when you're looking at it, not on a camera. So maybe this is just pointless because you'll be able to read it anyway, but I couldn't read it from the camera, so. I was really drawn to this cover. First of all, hand lettering. Second of all, pretty. Look, I mean, it's so well done. It draws it in. It goes along with the everything leads to you idea that it actually, like, using leading lines with wording and photography. That's really cool. That was really well done. So I'm pretty sure that's why I got it, besides the fact that I have read Hold Still and I loved it. So, yeah, this one probably needs to go up in the pile, but I don't know. It probably won't for a while. I'm not in that mode right now. I'm in like I'm actually reading Stephen King and Harry Potter right now. So weird combination, I know. I got this one from Book Outlet. Okay, this is the second one because I had gotten the first one, which might also be in this pile. Or have I done it? I don't remember. I might have done it already. Anyway, I got this one because I had the first one and I just hadn't read them yet, and it was on sale and I like covers to match, so I went ahead and got this one too. But I haven't read them yet. I got this one a long time ago and weirdly haven't read it yet, which is surprising because I really like, this is the same author, Pseudonymous Bosch, that did the Secret series, which I absolutely loved. It was so much fun, so much fun. So if you're into middle grade and you kind of like mysterious but also really funny, that is definitely a good book. And if you're an author, it's really good too, because there's a lot of like the writer kind of like working through his writing while he's doing the book, which is really fun. So I highly recommend that series. The only bad part about these books is the fact that when you take the cover, when you take the pretty, you know, dust jacket off, you're left with this. Now these are really cool. I'm not gonna lie, these are awesome. All of them have different patterns, but they're really hard to put in color-coded order, because this one is pretty nice because it's just like one color in different shades, but some of the other ones are not. There's like a blue and yellow and it's horrible. It's so hard to color code those. Like I need a shelf just for multicolored books. So I think once we get my new book, once I get my new library, I will actually put a section that is just multicolored books. That way I can keep them out of the actual rainbow without screwing everything up, and it'll look really pretty on its own over there. So I should do that. This one, I'm pretty sure I got on Book Outlet, and I got it because it was really pretty. And it has hand lettering on it. So that was a good combination. I have no idea if it's good at all, but it's pretty to look at, so there's that. Whoops. I got this one from a friend, I think for Christmas a couple years ago. I don't remember when I got it, but I did get this from a friend. I haven't read it. This is my last pink one. It's the BS of A. I got this one in the bargain bin section of Books A Million. I got it because I was feeling like I don't know how I'm gonna vote. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm feeling kind of just like incredibly disenchanted. Is a primer in politics for the incredibly disenchanted. And I was like, hey, this sounds like something that I should read. So I really had planned to do it. I never ended up reading it though. So maybe next election, yay! Okay, now on to purple. I got this one in a book of the month box, and I think this was one of the first books I got from them, and it was beautiful. Now, I will say, and I haven't mentioned this before in all of my book of the month one, I had a really hard time deciding to get this because they always put their book of the month logo on the front of the cover. And I finally went ahead and did it because they always match it to the book, and it's, I mean, if you're not paying attention and it's way back here, you don't really notice it. They're starting to do like a square thing. Like when I did this one, they have a square on it now, and I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not 100% sure I like that, actually. It kind of, I don't know, maybe just because I'm such a cover snob, I feel like it shouldn't be there like that. At least this was kind of not so noticeable. I mean, they have book of the month everywhere else on it. Like, are you worried people aren't gonna know? It's okay, I think it's okay. I don't think you have to have it just like, I mean, I feel like the next thing they're gonna do is just put a giant sticker right here that says book of the month, and then you just have to guess what's inside it. I don't know. I mean, part of why you buy a book is sometimes the cover. Let's not lie to ourselves now. So, I don't know. I still get them because, I mean, you get one book and then you can get two other books for two hardback books for $9.99. That's awesome. So it's a toss-up. And then I think about it like this. Eventually, that cover is coming off for me anyway. So, it doesn't really matter. because once you take it out, I mean, well, I mean, once you take it out, there's still book of the month everywhere on it, but it's not so noticeable because you're only gonna see the spine. So, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, if it gets crazy and they do actually start putting their logo in, like, instead of the cover, then I'll have an issue, but I'm pretty sure I won't be the only one. So, I was sent this book by an author, and I haven't read it because I'm a horrible person who never reads any of the books people send me. Okay, the next is another one from this series. Earlier, I haven't read it. It's not the first one, and I haven't read the first one, so I've only accidentally read sequels before the first books. I don't intentionally do it, so. Okay, I got this one at Book Outlet, and I got it because people kept suggesting it when we first did Nerdy Post. Like, first opened it up, you see there's a little dot on it, and I figured I would read them and find out what all the fuss is about. I also got this one, these two are together in here. I think these are the only two I've actually bought, and I do plan on getting to them, but I don't really feel like I have to anytime soon. And I think this is just a me thing, but I'm not super into, like, retellings of stories. I don't know why. I enjoy them when I read them, and I like being able to see the differences, but to actually, like, be like, oh, this is a selling point, it doesn't sell for me. So I really got these for research purposes. Okay, so there was this article I read once, like years ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago, that said something about, like, these are all the books you should read before you're, I don't know, 30. And this was on it. And I love reading big books because you just feel really smart when you're walking around with a big book. And it's kind of an awesome accomplishment when you finish one. So I got this and had planned on reading it, and but his writing is always a little odd. It's just always been a little odd. I've liked everything that I read from him. I haven't read too much of him, but I've heard this is really, really awesome. It's just, I'm in a point in my life now where I'm terrified to pick this up and start it, because big books are, I mean, I don't get out of the house that much anymore, so it's not like the only person who's going to be impressed with me is Madeline, and she doesn't care. Like, it doesn't matter to her. So, I mean, she's 2. Of course it doesn't matter. So, I don't just read big books to impress people. That sounds horrible. But, so basically, no one's gonna be like, oh, she's so smart, because I read Maddie a picture book and she's like, wow, you're so smart, you can read. So I don't have that going for me on this one, and I am honestly scared to read big books right now. I just am. I don't have time. This might take me a year to read if I start it right now. And then I'll be all kinds of behind for everything else I want to read. So, but I still want to read it. I just like the heft of a big book and the story, where it could go, but yeah, no, this scares me. I don't know. This might have to wait until I'm, like, really old and not doing anything anymore. Some people garden when they get older. I'll probably just read on my TBR pile. Okay, the next is another one from this series. Earlier, I haven't read it. It's not the first one, and I haven't read the first one, so I've only accidentally read sequels before the first books. I don't intentionally do it, so. Okay, I got this one at Book Outlet, and I got it because people kept suggesting it when we first did Nerdy Post. Like, first opened it up, you see there's a little dot on it, and I figured I would read them and find out what all the fuss is about. I also got this one, these two are together in here. I think these are the only two I've actually bought, and I do plan on getting to them, but I don't really feel like I have to anytime soon. And I think this is just a me thing, but I'm not super into, like, retellings of stories. I don't know why. I enjoy them when I read them, and I like being able to see the differences, but to actually, like, be like, oh, this is a selling point, it doesn't sell for me. So I really got these for research purposes. Okay, so there was this article I read once, like years ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago, that said something about like, these are all the books you should read before you're, I don't know, 30. And this was on it. And I love reading big books because you just feel really smart when you're walking around with a big book. And it's kind of an awesome accomplishment when you finish one. So I got this and I had planned on reading it, and but his writing is always a little odd. It's just always been a little odd. I've liked everything that I read from him. I haven't read too much of him, but I've heard this is really, really awesome. It's just, I'm in a point in my life now where I'm terrified to pick this up and start it, because big books are, I mean, I don't get out of the house that much anymore, so it's not like the only person who's gonna be impressed with me is Madeline, and she doesn't care. Like, it doesn't matter to her. So, I mean, she's 2. Of course it doesn't matter. So, I don't just read big books to impress people. That sounds horrible. But, so basically, no one's gonna be like, oh, she's so smart, because I read Maddie a picture book and she's like, wow, you're so smart, you can read. So I don't have that going for me on this one, and I am honestly scared to read big books right now. I just am. I don't have time. This might take me a year to read if I start it right now. And then I'll be all kinds of behind for everything else I want to read. So, but I still want to read it. I just like the heft of a big book and the story, where it could go, but yeah, no, this scares me. I don't know. This might have to wait until I'm like really old and not doing anything anymore. Some people garden when they get older. I'll probably just read on my TBR pile. Okay, I got this one quite a while back when it first came out. I thought the cover was really pretty. I really like Neil Gaiman, and they quoted him on the front, so I felt like, okay, that's a selling point. There's feathers and there's birds, so that's a plus. It's definitely fantasy, also a plus. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I got this, but I haven't read it yet. I feel like somebody gave it kind of a iffy review, and then I was like, oh, okay. All right, this one I got at Pecan. It is beautiful. I have no idea what it's about. Nothing, but they were giving them away for free, and it was really pretty, and I have no control when it comes to free books, so I own it. Ooh, I didn't even realize I had this. Oh, I don't know when I got this. I'm really excited I have this though, because I love this series. I really like it. It's like Sherlock meets Doctor Who a little bit, I think. And that's awesome. And I love it. And I want to read it right away. Yeah. Recommended to readers who enjoy Doctor Who, Supernatural, and Sherlock Holmes. So yeah. That's a definite yes. I read the last 2 really fast, so I want to read this. This is the 3rd one, I think. Yeah, this is the 3rd one. Eee! I'm so excited! I forgot I had this. It's terrible. Okay, I got this one in a polyethnic publishing fandom box that they were doing for a while. I think they're still doing it, but it's under a different name. Like Fandom Army or the Bookish Army? I'm not sure which one it is. But I really like this cover. This is one of the few that I'm actually okay with, like, a face. I don't know why. Maybe it's because she's a redhead and the eyes are really pretty blue. I don't know. But it's a cool cover. So, I haven't read it yet, though. Obviously. Okay. I got this one in Lit Joy middle grade box. And I think this is going to be really fun. It's got, I mean, a unicorn. Ooh, there's another one after it. This one is, okay, it doesn't have a subtitle. This one, the second one is Dragon on Trial. That sounds exciting. And this has like a unicorn and some kind of beastie paw there, and kind of looks like an octopus tentacle. But I'm assuming it's something a little bit more fantasy than that. So this looks really good, and I should put this higher on my list, but I can't right now because I don't have time. Just got this in a recent box. I don't know whether you'll see this video before or after you see the unboxing that it comes from, so I'm not gonna say just in case. But I was really, really excited to get this one. So it's so pretty. This is how I wish my book had looked. Like with the girl at the... Let me just show you my book and I'll show you what I mean. Let me find it. Okay. Okay. So I can draw, but I don't think I have these skills. This in my head is what I kind of wanted, like with the dress and everything, okay? But the style that I did it was much more line. And this is my girl. You know, it's like the cartoon version. Anyway, I really like this cover. It's really pretty. And I'm excited to read it. Okay, so, okay, I talked about this one last time. But this is the second one. Yeah, this is the second one to that, and those were the only two that were available at the time of BookCon, so I got them both. If he had the whole series, I probably would have bought the whole series there. This is self-published. He also designs his own covers, but he's better than me, so. Oh well. Still, I'm excited to read these. I think they're gonna be really fun, and they have a really nice texture. They feel like my book, but they also feel like our bookmarks from Nerdy Post, which is nice. I just want to pet it all the time. Okay, this has the same vibe as the Bad Luck one I did earlier. I got this one not too long ago. I really liked the cover was pretty. I really liked the title. I thought that was clever and probably pretty fun. But other than that, I don't think I know anything about it. I'm sure I read the inside at some point because I tend to actually read the inside cover. I don't just buy it because, oh, hey, it looks pretty. But it was interesting enough that I bought it, but I don't remember what it was about. Okay, here is another Cinda Williams Chima book. I think, yes, this is part of the Air Chronicles. Again, I haven't read this one yet. I feel like I'm probably gonna need to reread the other ones first, just so I can get back in the world properly before I continue with the series. So that's on my to-do list. I got this one a really long time ago, and I don't know if I bought it or if I was given this one by my friend Michelle. I'm not sure. I went on like a book buying spree about the same time that she gave me a bunch of books, so I don't remember which ones or which in that whole section of time, but I think maybe I bought this one. So this is probably gonna be really good. Has anybody read this? Do you know? Is it good? Okay, oh, yes. Catherine Fisher, another one I really liked. Incarceron was really good and I think underrated as a story. I'm really excited about this, actually. Yeah, I'm really excited anytime I see her stuff because I really, really, really liked Incarceron. It was really good. If you haven't read that, you need to. It was really good. Oh, okay. This one was in an Owl Crate box. I have the little letter in there still. And it seemed like to go over really well and was good, so I should read it. I just realized it was backward. I should probably have done the purples first and then the pinks if we were going by rainbow, but the way I stacked them was the other way, so whoops. Anyway, this one I got in a book box, I think. Ah, yes, uppercase box. There's all the goodies still inside it. Haven't read it yet. It looks kind of interesting. Historical-ish, I think. But YA, I think it went over well when people were reading it, but I haven't seen it anywhere lately on Bookstagram. All right, the next one is Ravenwood. I'm not gonna lie. I got this because there is a bird on the title and the cover, and it looks kind of interesting, and it's middle grade. And that's about all I remember about why I got it. I got this one at Sam's. I was reading Percy Jackson at the time. I felt like I should probably own this. so now I do. I got this one in a box, but I don't remember which one. Ooh, Litjoy, I think. I probably would not have bought this one on my own. Not that it won't be good, because Litjoy seems to have the same kind of taste in books as I do. So I'll try it, but it's definitely not something I would have picked up. It's just not my style of cover, so I probably would have steered clear of it because it is probably kind of romancy. Huh? It's a thrilling gothic novel. So, murder mystery type of thing. Maybe it'll be good, actually. When I picked this one up, I was immediately reminded of a book I read in middle school that I remember loving. And it was like time travel kind of romance thing. It was for middle grade. No, not middle grade. I mean, it was like a YA, but there wasn't really a YA section back then. So I'm not really sure where it was or what it was called even. I don't remember, but I remember loving the book. And there were several. I think I picked it up the other day. Maybe I have it. I'll have to look. But this cover reminds me of it for some reason. I don't know, the colors and the style of it reminds me of the cover of that book. And this is also kind of a parallel, it's a parallel world kind of romance thing going on. So I don't know why, but I feel like this one's gonna give me like some serious nostalgic feelings. We'll see if that's true. But I've had it for a long time and I haven't read it. But every time I see it, I think of that book. So, okay, this one I bought on Book Outlet and maybe, yeah, Book Outlet. And I got it because, first of all, I used to be a cheerleader. I don't know if you would ever guess that, but I was. And so I was drawn to this cover because it's pretty cool, but it also is a cheerleader. And then the title, which is Exit Pursued by a Bear. And it just sounded really cool. And I think this is actually kind of a tough read, I want to say. Just kind of for, yeah, it has to do with like rape, I think, and survival of that and kind of being a victim. So I kind of want to put this up on my list. I think it'll be really good. But I think it'll probably make me cry, or at least be sad for a while. Maybe not. And the last one in this section, which I think should be in a different section. I'm not really sure why it's in this section. It's kind of gray more than purple, or blue more than that, but this is the section I had it in, so whatever. This is the Hugo Cabaret one. Now, I've seen the movie and loved it, and I bought a different Brian Selznick book and read it, and then I saw this one when the Barnes & Noble were doing their like signed copy, you know, bonanza that they do every year. So I picked this one up because I wanted to read it since I had seen the movie, and I wanted to see, you know, how it differed and how it was the same. And there's a lot of pictures, so that means I'll be able to read it fast, despite how big it is. Yay. So that was pink and purple. Okay, on to the brown section. So the first one is Paper and Fire by Rachel Kane. And I really like these covers though. I think they've come out with new ones that have like, they look like old book spines, but I keep thinking that's a different author, so maybe I'm wrong. But can anybody guess why I got this one? Yeah, it's the bird. These sound really cool, and I'm really interested in starting these, but again, it'll probably be a while. I got this one on Book Outlet, and I love this movie, and I know that the story is actually a lot different than the movie. That's How to Train Your Dragon. And part of my hesitation to actually read it is because I don't want to like ruin the movie for myself, which is kind of silly. But I got this on Book Outlet, and I got it really, really cheap because they had this going on the cover, which was kind of a bummer, but it's okay. I've been watching How to Train Your Dragon a lot lately because of Madeline. I just introduced it to her and she loves it. So every time we watch it, I'm like, I need to put this on my TBR. So I am actually going to put this on my short TBR. It's already on my TBR. That's not what I meant. But it's gonna go on my short one because I really just, I think I could probably knock this out in an evening. So I'm finally gonna do it. The next was recommended to me by WeReader, and she talks about it a lot. I don't know if she actually ever said, Alexis, you need to read this, but she talked about it all the time. And so I finally just was like, I need to get this book. It is The Winter Sea, and it looks really pretty, and I feel like this one's gonna make me cry, probably. But it's romance and historical novel, so this is not normally the thing I pick up, but we're gonna try it. So, regardless, it's really pretty. And it's a redhead, and we all know I like redheads on covers. Okay, this title and this cover are really awesome. It's The Library of Mount Char. At Mount Char, sorry. And I just really love this cover. I think it's so cool. I had this on my short list for quite a while, and then I gave up on the short list that I had because I was never gonna get to it. And so I just put it in with all the other books. So I was trying to clean up a little bit. And yeah, but this kind of always remains a little bit on my short list just because I really want to get to it. I've heard really good things about it, but for now it's gonna stay over here since I'm about to move all my books. So. Okay, this one was endorsed by J.K. Rowling, so that's awesome. It's called House of Secrets. Fun title. I like any of these. There's actually a lot of books that I have that are like some kind of house has some kind of magic or some kind of way to get to magic. So I guess that's my thing. But it sounded really interesting, and I really like the cover art. And I feel like this is probably a series at this point because I feel like I've had this for a while. Let's just find out. First edition, no surprise there. Copyright 2013, so yeah, I've had it a while. Okay, I got this one in a book box. I don't remember which one. I don't have any of the stuff that goes in it, so I can't tell you which one it was. It looks interesting. It has to do with an artist and his muse, so it's probably really good. Okay, I have this series, or Elizabeth Hayden is, wrote this book, or this series, that is one of my all-time favorites. I read it in a time of my life that just, I bonded to it, and we're really, really close, and we always will be. The book, not her, I don't know her personally. And she also did this young adult series. And I've read the first one, and I've gotten every single one since, but I haven't read any further. And I don't know why, because I loved them. I never have, but I keep supporting her. So one of these days I am gonna read these. But I really like the way she writes. And I like the stories or the worlds that she builds, so I really need to get to these soonish. Okay, so then this happened. I ended up with 2 of these. I think I got so excited that she was continuing this series that I just bought 2. I clearly bought this one like as soon as I found out about it, and then forgot that I had done that because this one is a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so I'm sure I was like, ooh, I need this because it has exclusive stuff. It has a bonus short story. I guess I'll be doing a giveaway for this one if anybody would be interested in that at some point, because I highly recommend the series. So this would just be a way for me to be like, hey guys, for real, you need to read the rest of them. But whoops, sometimes that happens. That's what happens when you have a lot of books on your TBR, you forget. Now, usually I'm like, I need to take a picture of this, I need to go home and check. Sometimes I don't. It's probably, I was with Madeline, I was chasing her around Barnes & Noble, and she thought it was really funny, and I saw that and thought, ooh, I need it. I didn't even think about that I already owned it. So that's probably what happened. Okay. Next is this one, which I got at BookCon, and I just like recently watched the Jessica Jones, it's not a series, not technically, there's like only one season at this point, but anyway, I'm gonna call it a series anyway. I really liked it and I like her, and so I'm very interested. Also, this cover is really cool. I really like things like this. Well done with the typography, just saying. Okay, this one was from a book box. This is uppercase box. Definitely a retelling, so we're in that kind of like, oh, this could be interesting, I don't know. I feel like there was a cooler cover. I'm not a huge fan of this cover. The colors are really pretty, but I don't know. Something about it is just a little, doesn't float my boat. Again, that has nothing to say about the book itself. The book might be great, but. Okay, so the next book I got was Normal, and I got this in a Nocturnal Readers box. I really like this cover. I think the typography is super cool. One thing though that drives me crazy is that they tilted this leg of the N in a direction that makes it look like a W. The sawing, I think it's really loud. Yeah, so the leg of this tilts the wrong direction for me. I think it should have been the other way because now it looks like a W. And so every time I see this cover, my mind immediately goes warmal before it goes normal. So just one of those things that really just irks me a little bit. Otherwise, the cover's awesome. Okay, Allison, Little Bookworm IG has told me this one I really need to read. I just started it on Audible, but I haven't gotten too far. There were a lot of reviews on Audible that said the story was amazing, but the editing on the thing was terrible. Like, the music overlaps the words and you can't hear what he's saying. So I'm gonna need this to reference because I started it and it does do that. So this is gonna be a read along with my audiobook, I think. The next is Marlena. I got this in Book of the Month. I got it recently, but I don't remember what it's about. I think it's a YA book. I don't know. I'll get to it eventually. Killers of the Flower Moon. This is not something I would normally get, but I got it for the $9.99 price with the Book of the Month thing. And I believe that this has to do with the, injustice of Native Americans, I believe. Yeah, the Osage Indian Nation. Since I am part Native American, I want to be interested and read things like this. I don't want to be, I am interested and want to read things like this. Just to get a sense of, you know, the part of my culture that I don't really get to, I don't know, be a part of as much, just because I mean, I look like a white girl. So, and my heritage can't be like confirmed because where we like would have had our records burned down. So I can only just say it in my heart that I am. And then I had a very pale redhead baby, so we are out of the Native American blood. It stopped with me. So yeah. Anyway, I think it's important history to know. So I'm actually looking forward to this, even though I am not a fan of the cover. I got this recently in a middle grade Lit Joy box, and it looks really fun. It has a dragon on it, and it's middle grade, so already it wins. And yeah, I wish I could do like a month where I don't do anything but just read middle grade books, like one every day. That'd be amazing. But I have responsibilities and a child, so that's probably not gonna happen anytime soon. As in like ever. Okay, the next one. As soon as I saw this cover, I loved it because it reminded me of the inside of the Firefly, or inside of the Serenity. So yeah, I already like this book. I got it in a Lit Joy box a few months back. It sounds kind of similar, like not similar to Firefly, but it definitely will have, I think it's gonna have echoes of it, which I'm really excited about. So I like this one. I want to put this on my short list just because anything that reminds me of Firefly makes me want to just hug it, clearly. And the last one in the brown section, which it's kind of one of those weird, like it's not necessarily brown. I just recently got, I think this cover mixed with this title sounds really awesome. And I really like the idea of this book. It's steampunkish and Victorian England and also kind of dystopian. Like, I just think this is gonna be really good. Yeah, really cool cover too. So I'm excited about this one, but it's probably not going on my immediate TBR because I don't have time. Anyway, that is the end of my TBR for now. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more, and like this if you found it somewhat interesting.